Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager Challenge Mode. A quick warning before we get any further, there have been some issues with my internet service provider on a national basis over the last 24 hours or so, and I have lost the ability to do online stuff at points over the last day or so, so there's a chance that the stream may just randomly cut off, or maybe a really low quality in terms of video, audio, or combination of both. Apologies if that happens. If it gets bad, we will probably end the stream early and just postpone this race until tomorrow, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully everything will be nice and stable from now on. With that said, hello, it's good to see you all again. I am excited-ish for this race. It's Monaco. I think strategy-wise we could maybe do something a little bit funky. Pace-wise, we'll see where we are once we get to quali. But it could be an interesting race. It could be a typical Monaco race, which is very processional and not a lot of overtaking, or at least for us. So, yeah, we shall see. How are you doing, Patkins? Good to see you. Let's have a quick recap. I can't remember how we did in the last race at Barcelona. I think we got points with both drivers. Let's have a quick look. Yes, we did. We got 6th and 7th, which bodes well. We did break out new engines for that, and we were still further off the pace than I would have liked. But hey, we got points. That was the important thing. Let's see what we can do tonight. Let's take a quick look at where our car sits going into this Grand Prix. This is the last race with this spec of car. We get brand new parts, 3 brand new parts going into Baku. So let's see if we can go out with a bang on this spec of car. And our speed, that has taken a hit. We are currently 16th and 12th. That's not good. So definitely losing out as some engines are swapped in other cars. And yeah, it's definitely showing for us a little bit here. Cornering pace looks pretty decent. Brake cooling and engine cooling has also taken a little bit of a knock in the standings. So yeah, the front wing will definitely help with the brake cooling. The side pods should help with the engine cooling, and the that was a rear wing, not a front wing. Okay, so the rear wing will, and the underfloor will definitely help with the speed. The side pods will help with the engine cooling. We will have to work on something for our brake cooling. After this, that is going to need a bit more of an oomph. So, given where we are in terms of speed, the incentive is to get 1 in the top 14. We are going to try and get 1 into Q3 and both into Q2. Fastest lap, well, I'm glad that's the incentive because I wouldn't choose to go for that. Let's see if we can get 2 in the top 12. I'm not confident of getting both cars higher than that in this Grand Prix. Finish position streak is 2 and 15th. We're halfway through that, and quali 2 and 14th. We're only a tenth of the way through, well, 20% through that. So long way to go on those. How you doing, Mr. Water? Good to see you. Right, do we have any points for our drivers to allocate before the Grand Prix? No, we don't. We don't care about Nico. No points for our staff either. Just take a look at our pit crew. Pit crew is reached 80, so I want to start focusing on something else. What I want to try and do is I want to try and balance out some of our stats a little bit so that we can then go to balanced. So we'll work on the front and rear jacks, which will give us a big improvement in pit stop times, and we'll kind of focus on that for the next half a season or so, or half of the remaining season. So we're on race 7, so we go to about race 15 or so, and then we'll have another look and see where we stand with that, and maybe start working on something else a little bit. Facility-wise, we can't really do anything with that, despite all the money we've got, so let's head into practice.
Cars have been racing through Monaco streets since 1929, and this weekend is no exception, as we get to watch the new generation of world-class drivers take over Monte Carlo. This is the Monaco Grand Prix. Monaco is famous for its many narrow twists and corners, from the brake-heavy Le Rascasse to the treacherous Sand of Ott. There are no proper straights to speak of, and it's extremely hard to overtake here. It sounds like simple advice, but getting up as high on that starting grid as possible is the best plan of attack. At this early stage in the season, there are still plenty of opportunities for things to change. In this sport, there simply are no guarantees. There's nothing like a race weekend in Formula One.
Okay, we have excellent weather for practice and quali, slightly cloudy for the race. Let's have a look at getting our cars set up. We're going to start with a set of hards. Car parts, we're going to take out those nice shiny new engines that we put in last time. And put in our 50%ers. The RS is staying the same, and we will also change the gearboxes back to the older gearboxes for practice as well. Okay, lap. How many laps do we want to do around Monaco? I think it's about 21 laps. Let me get my notebook. Monaco. 21 laps, yes. Okay, and driving style, obviously we're going to drop everything down. Do the same for Felipe. And let's take a look at getting the cars set up. So, max out the wings as we always do here at Monaco. Let's see. I'm going to go with a 9.1. Make that a 3.05 and a 0.15. And let's give that one a go. And let's take a look at doing Freddie's car now. Might go something similar with this. Let's go with a 3.2 and a 0.5. And let's see how that works out.
Radio check. Radio check.
Oh, I put him on the wrong tyres. Alright, we're going to call Freddie straight back in. Because otherwise I'll forget to use the hard tyres in a different session, and I'll end up with too many hard tyres and no softs. So, who watched the Australian Grand Prix? What did you think of the utter carnage at the end there? A little bit of a farce, I think. I think the FIA is so, well, Formula One is so concerned about a repeat of Abu Dhabi 2021 that they are overcompensating, and as a result are still making mistakes. That's the only thing I can think of as to why they decided to red flag the race. They were so determined to not finish behind a safety car that they red flagged it and just brought about all the utter carnage at the end. Yeah, It's just crazy. That many cars just completely taken out of contention. And now, because China has been withdrawn this season, we've got another 3-week break now until Baku. So there'll be a lot of time to digest and go over everything that happened. Okay, feedback is about to come in. 90%, that's a pretty good start.
Coming in or doing any more?
Got a nice big traffic jam behind us here. And 84 for Felipe. Not great. Fair bit more work needed for that one.
Car in the wall.
Yeah, copy.
Virtual safety.
Who's that just
Okay, have we just lost the Ferrari?
Now. Let's have another look. Science is the focus here.
Oh, Bottas
Oh, no! And there's the crash.
shreds his right rear tyre and damages the Ferrari in the process. I'm assuming that's Bottas. It might be Zhou. Oh, it's Gasly. And he's out. Okay. Not good for him. Let's get our drivers in. Get them turned around. So a little bit of work needed. Let's try dropping this to the spec that we put on Felipe's car. So let's go with a 3.05 and a 0.15. Let's have a look at that. And that's minor changes to everything that counts. So yeah, we'll have a look at that. It's not Yuki. No, it's not. Cornering and braking need a bit of a change, so let's try. What can I try? I don't have another 9.1. I do have an 8.2 that might work if we can rejig this one a bit. So let's go with a 3.35 and a 0.7. And that's not too far away. Could also do a 3.5, and that's probably a bit too much. And a 1. Yeah, that's a bit too much. Let's pull that back. Let's pull that back. Let's try that. That looks pretty well balanced. Evening, Farah. Anyone running a rookie this weekend? No, doesn't look like it. We've got Ricciardo, Stroll, Ocon, Schumacher, Vettel, Zhou, Magnussen, Bottas, Albon, Norris, Alonso, Hamilton, Leclerc, Russell, Sainz, Verstappen, Perez. Yeah, no rookies. We're still under VSC.
I think that was a crash.
Oh.
Here's the replay.
No, we're under a new
Watch
VSC
this.
because
There's
Schumacher's crashed.
Schumacher.
Oh, he's almost kind of done what his father did all those years ago. He's parked up. That was what? Oh, that's got to be 20... Was it 2011? Or 2012? When he got that pole for Mercedes and then it was stripped because he kind of parked the car. No, wait. No, I'm thinking of... He was in a Ferrari when he did that, so that would have been maybe 2006?
Virtual safety car ending?
2006, 2007, when he did that. I think he retired at the end of 2006, didn't he? So 2007 was Raikkonen and Massa. So yeah, it must have been 2006. And he parked at Raskas. And was later disqualified from qualifying. But he also had that. It was a podium, I think, that he got with with Mercedes, where he overtook somebody under a safety car on the last lap as the safety car peeled in. And it was deemed an illegal overtake, and the rules were tightened up after that, and yeah, he was dropped down. And that was, I think, 2011 or 2012. Getting my Schumacher moments mixed up. Alright. Have we gone the right way with setup? Oh, got another crash, another VSC. Busy first period here. Another retirement. This time it's Russell.
Sounds like there's been a crash. Let's take a closer
He's
look.
buried it into
Now,
Sandoval.
just watch the Mercedes here.
Yep, that's going to break a suspension there.
The crash.
%, so we've gone the wrong way with Vesti. That's not good. What about Felipe? Oh, we've gone very much the right way with Felipe. We've almost nailed that one. So there we go. Interesting first session. 2 cars retired, and Gasly will pick up a penalty as well for bouncing off the wall into Carlos Sainz there. Okay, so what do we need to change? Well, that to me suggests we kind of need to go a bit more aggressive. Excuse me. A bit more aggressive with the camber, and then obviously the toe is going to need to be corrected as a result. Let me try that. That will have a bit of a knock-on on the front wing, which is fine. We need that. And a minor knock-on on the traction, which again, we need that as well. I don't want to overdo it. I'm going to give that a go. See if that's enough. We'll go mediums in this session. And again, we're going to go 21 laps is the minimum, so we want to go, let's see, 22 28 laps should be enough. What do we need to correct here? Just the cornering, so let's try pushing that to 3.4 and pull the toe back, and let's see how that works. And again, we'll go up for about 28 laps. Drop the pace, and I need to change his tyres as well because I forgot to do that the first session. There we go. And let's see if FP2 is as hectic as FP1.
Radio check.
So far, everyone has kept it out of the barriers. We've got a big old queue behind Vesti. I'm going to slow time down for a second. Just have a look at the size of this queue. And we've got them up to 93%. We've got the vast majority, we've got at least half the field, I think, stuck behind us here. This next shot coming up the hill after Sanderbot will be interesting. Yeah, oh, that's a lot of cars. Both Alpines, one of the Alfa Romeos, one of the... is that both Alfa Romeos? No, it's one of the Alfa Romeos, one of the Haas, one of the McLarens, a Williams, a Red Bull, an Alfa Tauri, both the Mercedes. And the other ones aren't far behind either. They're closing in and catching the back of that train as well. Another Red Bull, a Ferrari. Yeah, a lot of cars. A lot of cars here behind Freddie, who's just unapologetically holding everyone up here. We've maxed the setup for Felipe, which is excellent. And we're not too far away with Freddie as well. 93%, that's a good place to build from, considering we went backwards with the last change. And this kind of builds into my thoughts about strategy for the Grand Prix. Freddie is not as quick as Felipe, although the pace gap has closed this season compared to last. So what I'm thinking of doing is going hards to start with Freddie, assuming that he qualifies behind Felipe. And then he'll act maybe as kind of a stopper. So he will stay out longer, and the cars that are in front that pit, you know, on off mediums or even softs, will get stuck behind him for a bit. And at the very least, will hopefully allow for Felipe to catch up, if not maybe try and sneak an overtake in somewhere. Right, those changes hopefully will give us exactly what we need. We'll find out in the next session. And we are absolutely spot on there. So let's just ride out the last 20 minutes of the session. There we go. In the end, a very quiet session compared to FP1. No real incidents in this one. I don't think there was even a yellow flag. So, into day 2. We've made the change we need there. Let's go with 28 laps of fuel again. It should be enough. It might be too much, but we'll see. And same again, 28 laps here. And off we go.
Check.
I know the cars have got slightly different wear rates on them at the moment, but we're seeing about half a second on average between our two drivers when they're in clear air. So this is definitely adding weight to my make Freddy the stop, the stopper strategy. It's down to about 0.3 now. Yeah, but that's 3 seconds over 10 laps. It adds up. Especially on a race that is 70 odd laps, 80 laps long.
What's your thoughts on coming in or doing any more?
Okay, we're almost there with Freddy. Does he have the 15 bonus? Not yet. I'm gonna have to get his track knowledge up to 100. Oh, there we go. He's up to 100. Sorry, he's up to 15. So I'm not going to mess about with his strategy anymore, or his setup anymore. We'll leave it as is, unless it's a very obvious little change that we can make. I don't want to risk knocking him out of the optimal window, even though it's not quite 100%. So we'll call him in. Let's take a quick look. and it's not amazingly obvious straight away as to the easiest way to change that. I could go one way or I could go the other, and if I go the wrong way I knock him out of his window. So yeah, we'll leave his setup as is. 97's good enough. He gets this full 15 out of 15, so that's the more important thing. It's been another quiet session though. No dramas from any of the drivers. Are we going to get an incident-free race, or are we going to see Gasly putting it in the wall again, or Russell stuffing it into turn one? I imagine somebody's going to lock up into Sandoval at some point in the Grand Prix. It might even be us. Let's be honest. It's entirely possible that our drivers could do something stupid. Kind of hope they don't, but we want to try and capitalise. If we get a safety car, that could change everything about the Grand Prix. If we are well positioned to capitalise on it.
Good session.
And if it's a late safety car and we've been lapped, which, even though we're not horrendously far off in the pace, I do think is a real possibility in this Grand Prix. I think we may well get lapped. Just such is the nature of Red Bull at this circuit, especially when Red Bull are competitive. And given how strong Max has been this season, I think he's going to lap us. I really do. Maybe even Sergio as well. Right, we need to get some better parts in the car, so yeah, I think I'm going to have to bite the bullet. I really don't want to take penalties here. Where are we going? I'm going to Baku after this. I don't want to take penalties there. After Baku, it's Canada. Canada, we might take an engine penalty at Canada. Let's go with our 91% engine. And our 96% engine. Let's try and get a strong result. ERS modules are fine as long as we don't have a shunt. Gearboxes, obviously swap those over. We want to try and qualify as well as we can here. Maximise our chances of getting something out of this Grand Prix. It's going to be a long race, and I don't want to be pookling around trying to get, 11th or 12th, or trying to squeeze into the top 10 when points stop at position 8.
Radio check.
Let's give both of our drivers a little bit of clear air. So they don't trip over each other. And let's see what kind of pace we can actually achieve. Now we're going to have a McLaren in front of us. That's not ideal because we're going to catch him at the worst possible place. Well, we might be able to pass him up the hill. I hope we do. Otherwise, I think Vesti's lap is stuffed. Vesti's lap is stuffed. Damn it. I'm stuck behind him all through this section. He won't pull away now until we get to the entrance of the tunnel. There we go. That's hurt. That's definitely hurt us. We may well have to run again with Freddie. Felipe's had a clean lap. So Freddie comes up to the line. What does he do? There's a 1:12.9. That's not great. 1:11.4. Yeah, there we go. 1.5 seconds. You can take at least a second off that as to what we would have done. Freddie's definitely going to have to run again. We'll pop him out at the end of the session. So far, Drugovich is looking pretty decent in third place here. Perez getting held up. Leclerc probably getting held up. He's going to get pushed further down the order. But he's done enough. Vesti, meanwhile, is the slowest lap time on record at the moment. Yeah, out of everybody. He absolutely has to go again. Let's send him out now. We're going to leave Felipe in the garage. No point sending him out. Have I gone too early with Freddie though? I really hope I haven't gone too early. No one else is moving. There we go. Have I completely stuffed this up? There's a lot of cars still in the garage. I think I royally stuffed this up. Oh no. I've just ruined Vesti's lap again, I think. I went too early. I thought the field would come out a little bit faster than that on this in this session. Okay, can he do enough to squeeze through? It's going to be tight. Might get held up a little bit at the end of the lap. There's the Haas. It's going to be very tight. We might just get away with this. Oh, someone spun. Who was it and where?
Car in the wall.
Yeah, copy.
Oh, it's Hamilton on turn 3. Oh, I can hear Farah cheering from here.
Now, just watch the Mercedes here.
Oh,
That crash is terrible news for the team.
and that has ruined everybody's laps behind Hamilton. It's not going to affect Vesti, who goes up to 6th. He gets through. But Hamilton's not going to make it. And nor is anyone behind him going to improve. This was a hot lap. So, all those cars not improving their times. Hamilton has completely shafted most of the field here. So he's out, Magnussen's out, Schumacher's out, Ricciardo's out, Stroll's out. Leclerc just survives by the skin of his teeth. And why is he finishing the lap? Why isn't he? Oh, maybe because the AI was so close.
Copy.
I'm surprised he didn't just abort into the pits. But there we go. That's Q1. Hamilton is out in Q1. Along with both of the Haas, one of the McLarens, and Stroll in the Williams. No penalty for Hamilton. She didn't hit anybody. So we scraped through there. We were very lucky. Had we gone out behind Hamilton, we would have been out. Because we wouldn't have been able to improve.
Radio check. Radio check.
Let's go and put a banker lap out.
Okay, it's green now.
On the scrubs. So Freddie's tyres have done two stints already. So these tyres are in pretty rubbish condition. So Freddie's time's going to be slow. He's going to have to run again on fresh tyres. Felipe might be okay. But he will probably have to run on fresh tyres as well. Vesti goes purple, so he is faster than Bottas, because Gasly's out. No, Gasly is in the session, so it might be Gasly in front of him. And now Felipe goes fastest. So it is Gasly who's on track. Gasly's going to set the first time. Now you can see the difference there. Freddie's tyres at 72% compared to 80 something for everyone else. And Gasly does a 1:11.8. What can Freddie do on older, more used tyres? 1:11.7. So quicker, but not by much. He will definitely need to go again. And 1:11.3 for Felipe on tyres that have done 3 laps less. There we go, it's both of our drivers reloaded and ready. I will try and get them out at the front of the field again. The timing is a little bit different from Q2 and Q3. The AI tends to go out a little bit earlier than they do in Q1. I'm not quite sure why. Why they always leave it to the very, very last second in Q1, but not in Q2 or Q3. So let's go with Felipe. And now we'll go with Vesti as Sainz comes in, and there's the rest of the field starting to move. So we'll have a bit more leeway on track this time. Won't be as much squeaky bum time as it was before. So Felipe is probably through. He's got a 0.3 of a second advantage over Alonso right now. 0.4 over his teammate. Freddie definitely needs this to be a good lap. So we'll follow him. I'm expecting both drivers to improve here. But Freddie in particular. Okay, neither driver improving in the first sector. That's a little concerning. I did put them on brand new tyres, didn't I? Yes, I did. Improvement for Felipe in the second sector. And for Freddie. Okay, Felipe coming up to the line. Improves his time but not his position. Freddie jumps up to 8th, improves by 0.3. He's done enough to get through right now. Ocon is slower, that's excellent. So he's staying 8th, that's one less car to worry about. We're going to worry about Alonso, maybe Albon, possibly Gasly. Depends how much damage he's done to his car. Norris has not improved yet. Norris is about to cross the line. And doesn't improve. Vettel and Zhou do not improve. Alonso doesn't improve. Gasly doesn't improve. So we've got both cars into Q3. I did not expect that. I will quite happily take it. That will definitely help come the race. So, Q3. I'm going to do a lap on scrubs, see where we end up. I'm not sure whether to go with a 1-stop or a 2-stop. If I go 2-stop, I'm going to need 2 sets of softs. If I go 1-stop, it'll be hards and mediums. I don't know if I want to commit to a 2-stop strategy.
Radio check.
I think I'll go with a 1-stop, but we'll have 1 extra set of softs available. 1 brand new set of softs, in case there's a last-minute safety car or something. That might be the better option. So let's get a banker time in, just in case something bizarre happens at the end of the session, like it did at the end of Q1 with Hamilton. We will potentially have to watch out for him coming through the field as well. Alright, both drivers are going to get a nice clean lap, no traffic to deal with, and that's good. And what can we do? A 1:11.2 and a 1:11.5. Hopefully one of my drivers doesn't do a Perez and crash on purpose before the tunnel. Yeah, I still don't believe that was a deliberate crash. Right, let's go with a brand new set. We will do one more run at the end. Qualifying is king here, so better to maximise our chances. Also, I want to try and get ahead of Bottas. Okay, a couple of cars out of position right now. Sainz, Russell potentially as well. There is definitely room for some movement in the field here. There we go. We'll go slightly early again, just in case something happens behind us. Alright, everyone is on track. We are the only ones on brand new tyres. Everyone is using the same tyres they used in their first run. I want to see improvement in all three sectors ideally, but again, no improvement in the first sector on a brand new set for either driver. Should get improvements on the rest of the lap though. Okay, up to the line. A small improvement. What about Freddie? He gains a couple of tenths. Well, tenth and a half maybe, but it's only enough to gain one place. And that's a temporary thing. I'm not expecting Ocon or Norris to improve. Russell might. Well, Russell probably will. Sainz might. Russell goes fourth. What does Sainz do? Sainz goes fourth. Big improvement for him. Bottas improves as well. Ocon improves his time but not his position. So 7th and 8th, which is where we were at the end of Q2. It's okay. It's not too bad. But we're about a second off the pace, so yeah, I think odds are we are definitely going to get lapped by one, if not both, of the Red Bulls here. With that in mind,
it's race day, and final preparations are underway.
Do I take out one lap or two?
From Aston Martin during the qualifying session, and they will go to the grid full of confidence. We didn't see any unexpected prowess from Alpine during qualifying, but they did well for themselves. Everything's still open to them for the race. A sunny day here with only a few clouds in the sky. If things stay this way, the weather shouldn't pose any challenges to the teams.
So as the drivers prepare to weave their way around the streets of Monaco, you have to think there'll be twists and turns aplenty.
Right, I'm going to go aggressive with the fuel, so I'm going to take 2 laps of fuel out. That will definitely help us get a better launch off the line, but it means we will have to do a little bit of fuel saving in the race. I'm hoping for a safety car as well, which will definitely help us improve our chances of recovering that fuel quickly without any real pain. Strategy-wise, we're going to go hard to medium for Freddie. Going to look to stop around about lap 45. Oops. And we're going to go medium to hard for Felipe. And we'll look to stop around lap 32. Okay, we are ready to go racing.
Now we should have good weather for the race, and that will be welcome news for the teams. Aston Martin there. With a top 10 position on the grid, this race could really go either way for them. There's the second Aston Martin. A top 10 position today, but will they be able to capitalise on it? The race start is mere seconds away. We're here and the streets are abuzz at the Monaco Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
So I'm hoping Felipe can at least jump one car here off the line. He's got one already, he's got Russell.
Currently P6.
Vesti has held position against Ocon. That was important.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
And now we're going to immediately settle in.
Get back off.
I wanted to hold position or see if I could gain in that first corner,
Take it easy.
Okay, copy.
which is what we did. Vesti was briefly under threat from Ocon, but with the DRS, sorry, the ERS, the battery deployment, he was able to reconfirm that position. And obviously Felipe did manage to jump Russell in turn 1. And now we're just going to settle in. We haven't got the pace to stay with the front runners. But we will try with Felipe for a little bit. We'll see if we can hang on to the back of Bottas. Vesti, I'm going to leave Vesti as is. He's our stopper. So we want him to hold up the field behind us. Let's take a look at tyres, see what everyone's doing. Oh, wow, we've got some softs in front of us. They are going to be stopping early. They're going to be stopping very early, around lap 20 something. So they're going to need to pull out a big lead. And I think as a result of that, I don't think we're going to have the pace to even stay with Bottas. Let's speed up. Give it a try. See if we can at least drop Russell in the process. I don't think we can. He's just faster than we are at the moment. But behind us, Ocon is on softs, as is Norris, Albon. Those guys are going to be putting a lot of pressure on Vesti. The fact that Norris and Ocon, that's not the first time I've done that. Norris and Ocon started in the top 10 means they're not on brand new softs like Sainz, who somehow has a brand new set of softs. so their tyres will go off a lot quicker. But it's not ideal. We have dropped Russell through using the battery. Question is, as soon as I stop using the battery, can I stay with Bottas if I can stay in DRS range? That is the real question. And will Russell just reel me back in again? See, I'm losing so much in the slow corners because I don't have the traction of the softs. I kind of need Sainz to break Bottas here. He's on the verge of doing so. If he does, it's going to make it much easier for me to stay with Bottas because he won't have DRS. Yeah, Bottas did not get... No, did he? I don't think he did. No, he didn't. So Bottas doesn't have the DRS, so as long as we... Oh, someone spun. It's Stroll. Stroll sideways in the final corner.
We've just had a crash on
Oh no, it's Russell.
Let's
Turn
see
one.
what happened there. Now, just watch the Mercedes here.
So Russell pushing to try and get back onto us.
Very unfortunate.
And he's put it into Sandevort, same as he did in practice.
Let's hope it doesn't.
He's still going, but he's now at the back of the field. So both Mercedes have got to fight their way through. Hamilton's in 15th right now. So I think he's gained one place. Russell all the way down in last and 5 seconds off the back of Stroll, who's already 3 seconds off the back of Ricciardo. So it's going to be a very slow, painful afternoon for Mercedes. Right, can we stay with Bottas through here? This is where we are probably likely to get dropped. If it's going to happen in this sector here. We just about managed to hang on. But I don't think we're close enough to be able to do that again for another lap. So Felipe may just be running in no man's land after this lap. We're going to switch to Vesti. Vesti holding up Ocon quite nicely. And we've almost gapped Albon behind us as well. That gap is fluctuating around the 1 second mark at the moment. But we do seem to be containing Ocon quite nicely. So we are forming a nice big queue of cars that will hopefully hold up all of those cars in front of us. And Felipe has been dropped, which is kind of what I expected. I don't really have any battery left to push either, so Russell is in the pits still. It's just coming out the pits now. Russell's lapped. That's going to make things interesting. Russell was fighting Felipe for position just a couple of laps ago, and now he has been lapped by Felipe. So he must have had a puncture and limped around, and maybe even damaged his front wing as well, to have had that slow a lap. Yeah, he was a 2-minute 28 lap. Even taking some time away for letting the field through, he should still have been faster than, he should still have at least closed up to Stroll, but look at that gap now. That's a huge gap. So Russell's race is done. Unless a safety car comes out and he can unlap himself under the safety car, his race is done. Completely and utterly. He's not getting anywhere near the points today. And of course, the knock-on effect of that is we've gone from holding 7th and 8th down, which would have been 3 points, to now holding down 6th and 7th, which is worth 5 points. In this tighter championship field, 5 points is huge around Monaco. Just going to grab a little bit of time fuel saving with Felipe while he's got a moment. You can see that Vesti is already 16.5 seconds off of Perez after just 7 laps. Well, after 6.5 laps. So all those soft runners, they're going to box and come out in front of Freddie. So, yeah, that plan's kind of gone out the window already. Freddie is not going to be the stopper that I hoped he was, but he is certainly going to hold up everybody behind him, which will help Felipe. So whereas I thought we might be able to slow down a couple of the front runners, now it's more about slowing down all the cars behind us and stopping them from being able to really attack us. To try and make sure that Felipe can hold on to 6th.
Okay, happy to lift and coast.
Yeah, copy.
I'm going to do a little bit of sneaky fuel saving here and there with Freddie. Going to be a lot of micromanaging for the next few laps.
You can stop, lift and coast.
Copy.
Lift and coast will help.
Copy.
Always going to have a look at the inside. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. We hold the position, but only just. Have to be a bit more careful on that next lap.
All okay on fuel, so you can do what you want for speed.
Farah is understandably heartbroken over Mercedes.
You can use energy.
Copy.
Just have a little squirt of battery up the hill.
Okay, suggest lift and coast.
Copy.
Now kind of regretting taking 2 laps out of Felipe's car. I wish I'd only taken the 1 out. Absolutely fine with the 2 laps out of Freddie though. And Ocon's tyres are fast reaching the point where they're going to start falling off quite dramatically. Right, Felipe's battery's fully charged. Let's get him going at normal pace again. Once again, we'll have a little squirt of battery up the hill.
No saving required.
Okay, cover.
And we've backed Ocon into Albon and Norris. So that's going to help as well. It's going to take the pressure off us because he's going to be under pressure himself. And now Felipe can start to stretch his legs a little bit again. We got the gap down from what, 7-8 seconds to 5 seconds. It's now starting to crawl back up again now that Felipe is no longer recharging his battery. Or saving fuel.
You can use energy. Use energy. You can use energy.
Sorry.
And let's see if we can close that gap to Bottas. So the gap is 8.7 seconds. Let's see if that comes down over this lap. So we're lapping within a tenth now of Bottas. That's a little late there.
Copy.
Ocon might have a little sneaky look here. Nope. But we're now pulling out a second a lap over Freddie, which is what we need. We need to start building that gap between the two drivers. If I can build up a big enough gap for Freddie to still be behind Felipe when Felipe pits, that would be ideal. Felipe is starting to pull away from Russell as well, who was just stuck behind him while he was doing all his recharging. Bottas did a 1:16.2, Felipe does a 1:16.3, so still just half a tenth. Ah, damn it. Okay, we got away with it into Sandoval. Up the hill, bit of battery. There we go. And 1.5 seconds difference between our two drivers this time round. So we're definitely building that gap. It's already up to 8.5 seconds. We need around about 19-20 seconds to be able to pit in and still come out in front. So we're almost halfway there. I've got two choices now. I can either continue to slow everything down and back everything up as much as I can, or I can try and break away. Because Ocon's going to be pitting in, what, the next 8 to 10 laps. So, do I really slow everything down, or do I try and break away a little bit? I'm just going to run at normal pace for this lap and see whether or not that gap builds up across the lap. If it does, I'll sprint for a lap. Try and break the DRS. See if we've got enough pace to pull away. I want to see if Ocon can't keep up with us if we start pushing. And it looks as though he's not going to be able to. But I want to do it at the start of a lap. So we're going to full lap of pushing away from the DRS. Here we go.
Use energy if you need.
Copy.
So we just need to push now.
Copy.
We're going to try and break away this lap. And my hope now is that Ocon is going to become the blocker. It'll allow Freddie to start pulling away so that he's not going to be vulnerable to a massive undercut from Ocon.
Drop back a bit.
So we've got 1.6 seconds to gap. If that starts to come down, we can always have another little squirt of battery or turn the tyres up a little bit more for another lap or so. But I think now we should be safe, and Ocon should now become the stopgap. We're still about the same pace per lap with Felipe as Bottas. We haven't really closed him down. We're now, only just now, fractionally faster. And obviously that's not a genuine lap time for Freddie because he spent a good 2/3 of the lap pushing. But the gap is going up. So Ocon is definitely starting to struggle. So what we've done is we completely ruined Ocon's tyre strategy. When he had the grip and he had the pace, he couldn't use it, and now he's got the clear air, he doesn't have the grip or the pace. And now he's fighting to keep cars behind him, which is going to keep him even slower. Let's take a look. When is the predicted strategy for the one-stoppers? Between lap 26 and 32. So yeah, we're about 8 laps away. We've got a massive gap between Drugovich and the leaders. So Perez and probably Verstappen right now, if they were to box this lap, would probably come out just in front of Perez, clear, but Verstappen would probably just about get out in front of Felipe. It's touch and go with Leclerc. Sainz would probably come out just behind us. Bottas is obviously not going to get that. He's right behind us. Or he's not that far ahead of us. But we have now made things a little bit more interesting in the fight behind us. We were never going to be in contention for a podium in this, given how far off the pace we were in quali. And that's fine. You know, I didn't expect us to be fighting for podiums, even with better engines at this Grand Prix, because our drivers don't have the talent to hang with the likes of Leclerc, Verstappen, Perez, Sainz in terms of pure driver skill, and certainly not with cars that aren't as good around a circuit like this. But I wanted us to be in contention for points. With Russell taking himself completely out of contention, that has helped us by basically giving us an extra point position without the threat. And speaking of threats, there you can see Ocon now under pressure from Albon. And this is exactly what I wanted to happen, for Ocon to be forced into a defensive posture rather than being the aggressor, which will slow him down even more and help Vesti to start pulling that gap a little bit bigger, so that when Ocon does pit, instead of the gap between the two drivers being half a second when Ocon pits, it's now going to be multiple seconds. It just gives Freddie a bit more of a fighting chance to get himself back into a points position when he eventually does pit, because on the hards, it's going to go a long time before he pits. Interesting strategy on making a potentially dull race quite interesting. Well, you have to be tactical here at Monaco. You can't just sit in the queue and just wait your turn for your pit stops, because nothing will ever happen. You have to try and force things in places where you can, and be creative where you can as well, if you want to really get the most out of the race. I could theoretically still switch Felipe onto a two-stop. I don't know if that's going to be the right thing to do, but now that we've got the gap, let me have a quick explore of that. So let's have a look if we were to switch him onto a two-stop. It would actually be 12 seconds quicker. So let's go aggressive. Let's switch Felipe onto the two-stop. Now that he's got that clean air, it will potentially make him pretty quick. What is the gap between our two drivers? It's 10 seconds. We kind of need that to be a little bit more. But I'm more interested in the gap to Ocon, because we can always get Freddie to move out of the way. So we're about 14 seconds ahead of Ocon right now. Like I said, we need about 18, 19, 20 seconds for a pit stop. And we're lapping a second a lap quicker with Felipe over Ocon. So, yeah, we can pull out that gap and we can convert him, and hopefully, because Ocon will pit before we do, we'll then be in contention with Albon, who's obviously behind Ocon. We'll have the gap to Albon to be able to pit and come out in front of him and anyone who's behind him. Norris is going to get himself out of the way, so it's going to be Alonso will be the next kind of car that we'll have to worry about by making the switch, because everyone else will be pitting either around the same time as Freddie or before Freddie. Ocon's going to pit before, Albon's going to pit around the same time, Norris is going to pit before. So it's Alonso who's scheduled to pit after us, and it's going to be slow if we get stuck behind him. That's the only real wrinkle. So in reality, the only car we really need to pay attention to now is Alonso in 11th. For this change of strategy to work. And you can see we are extending that gap. And in terms of a gap between Vesti and Alonso, it is currently... Sorry, between Felipe and Alonso, it's already 18 seconds. But obviously with a couple of cars in between. Alonso has more pace than Norris, but is stuck behind Norris and can't use it yet. Which works for me. I'm happy with that. Although if Norris does stay out of DRS range, then Alonso might be able to jump him on the main straight. Let's just keep an eye on Alonso for a few laps. As we are starting to reel in Bottas as well. That gap's down to 7.5 seconds. So we've closed about 1.5 seconds to Bottas. We're fast approaching the soft window as well, so we're likely to see Norris and Ocon and some of the front runners dive into the pits in the next couple of laps. So Norris did not get the DRS. Obviously Alonso did. Is he going to have a lunge? Not there, but maybe going into Casino. Tries to go around the inside, which will become the outside. Nope, he's not going to make it this lap. But he's threatening. He's threatening to get past him. That could be problematic. Of course, all this careful planning goes completely out the window if we get a safety car at some point in the next 5-10 laps. All those gaps are going to close right up. All that strategic pacing is going to be for nothing. And all the plans in terms of tyres are going to have to be very, very quickly, reworked. It won't affect Felipe too much. I can probably just go medium soft as opposed to medium soft, but it will have a big impact on Freddie. Maybe I could convert him to a hard soft, maybe. Here comes Alonso. Up the inside into Sandoval. Gets the move done. Has he got the drive up the hill? He should get this move done. Oh, yes, just squeezes ahead of Norris. I thought for a second Norris was going to hold him off. But Alonso did a 1:18 last lap, so he lost 1.4 seconds to Freddie. To Felipe, and to Freddie as well, actually. So that gap is now 20 seconds. That's what we need. So the real question now is, what's Alonso going to do with a little bit of clean air, even if it is only for a lap or two? He's already pulled out a second on Norris. Hamilton is still down in 15th. Vettel's tyres are going to be starting to die. Hamilton really needs to clear him. And he needs to do it into Sandoval if he's really going to get the move done. Russell is slowly but surely catching back up to Stroll, but it's very slow. That was for your benefit, Farah, yes. I'm impressed that Ocon has been able to hold Albon behind him all this time. Lap 26, so we might see someone diving into the pits at the end of this lap. The most likely candidates are going to be Sergio Perez, Valtteri Bottas, and Esteban Ocon and Norris. Sainz might stay out an extra lap, I don't know. He's the only one of the two Ferraris on soft, so he might dive in this lap as well. We could see a whole flurry of activity in the pits. Let's check in on Perez. Perez is staying out. Sainz is staying out. What about Bottas? Bottas is staying out. So maybe they're going to go another lap or two. What about Ocon? Kind of want Ocon to stay out until his tyres explode. If I was team boss of Alpine, I'd be pulling Ocon in right now. Get him out of the way of Alonso. But I'm not, which is why he's staying in the way. Norris stays out as well, so we're coming back up to Perez again, who is definitely holding up Verstappen right now. Makes no difference to me, but it certainly makes a difference to the Ferraris that are chasing. And Perez stays out another lap. Yeah, Leclerc is half a second a lap faster. This is really helping Leclerc here, who's on the same tyres as Verstappen. Hamilton's still in 15th, still stuck behind Vettel. We have a 20-second gap to Esteban Ocon. So I could pit Felipe this lap, and he should come out ahead of Ocon. Not going to, but I could. And we've got the gap with Freddie up to 10 seconds as well, which is excellent. Because his direct competition at the moment is going to be Alonso. And there we go, Perez into the pits. The first of the soft tyres to stop. Expect to see Sainz coming in as well, there he is. Which means Bottas will probably pit. Hard tyres for everybody here. Bottas is pitting, there we go. Which means Ocon should be pitting as well. Oh! A yellow flag. It's not a safety car, it's not even a VSC at the moment.
It's a crash.
It's Leclerc. Oh! Oh, that's clumsy. That's damaged his front wing. That's ruined Leclerc's race. Ocon pits, as does Bottas. That's going to free up Albon and Alonso, as Norris also dives into the pits. So let's ride with Alonso, who's now got a clean run at the back of Albon. Albon will not have DRS. He's going to have fresher tyres, or tyres in better condition, and he's all over him already, look. Oh, I completely agree with what you said there, Farah, about console cash grabs with you know, cheap simulators. It's one of the reasons I've stopped buying so many simulating games, just because they don't go anywhere. Alright, so Leclerc coming out of the pits. Can we get ahead of Leclerc? Not quite. We're right behind him. We are ahead of Bottas, which means we can hopefully slow Bottas down. But, you know, that half a second gap is going to be over a second by the time we get to the end of this lap, I think. And I don't really have the battery to try and stay with him. We're into the pit window for Felipe. And as his tyres are dropping off, you can see Russell is catching right back up again. Is that Sainz in front of it? Sainz? Oh yeah, Sainz pitted onto hards, didn't I? Was wondering how come we were so close to Sainz. Yeah, Vesti, 1.5 seconds, look. That's pretty much what I predicted. It's now 2 seconds across the line. Bottas has caught us. Can we hold up Bottas? That would be beautiful if we can. I'm going to do some more micromanaging.
We just need to charge up.
Yeah, copy.
Alonso still stuck behind Albon. This is excellent. This is working out beautifully. Albon is, yeah, comfortably outside of our pit window. So we are turning spoiler again here for Freddie a little bit. Because there is maybe an outside opportunity with us having 2 soft tyre runs to maybe get on no, well, maybe not. We just didn't have the pace. But there was maybe an outside chance that we could have got within range, within striking distance of Bottas with Felipe, but it's not going to happen, unfortunately. Let's see if we can stay with him for a bit. As Verstappen pits. I'm going one more lap. I did think about bringing him in a lap early, but Vesti's already over a second outside of the window. It's disappointing, but to be expected. Right. Oh, I don't have 2 new sets of softs, do I? I forgot about that. It's still quicker. We'll just have to be a bit more careful on this set of tyres.
Box.
So actually, let's save the better tyres for the second stint. Let's go with the 90% tyres.
Box.
Yeah, copy, box.
Because I'm probably going to have to do a little bit of fuel saving still with Felipe. So it makes sense to do that on the tyres that aren't brand new. We got the gap between Vesti and Alonso up to 15 seconds. Well, 14 seconds now. I think that gap's going to start coming down quite quickly. Now that Albon's dived out of the way. Alonso was quicker in quali. So pulling out that gap was definitely important while we had the opportunity. Felipe dives into the pits. That'll free up George Russell. Momentarily. We get out comfortably ahead of Alonso. And on soft tyres, we should be able to absolutely blitz him in terms of lap time. To open that gap back up again, ready for the second stop. And we can get Freddie to just step aside as soon as our two drivers get within spitting distance of each other. I'm wondering, actually, if I want to do the same. Because Freddie does have 2 new sets of softs. No, he doesn't. I thought Freddie did, but he got through to Q3 as well. But again, it's a quicker strategy. On paper. Let's do it.
Box.
Let's switch Freddie as well. Extra 16 seconds could be the difference between points or no points. Hamilton's up to 9th now with the other cars pitting to get out of the way. Let's see what's he doing lap time wise at the moment. 16.4s. He's suddenly so much faster now he's in clean air. Can we get out in front of him? I think we can. He's just coming out of the final corner now. Yeah, there we go. And we're not that far behind Alonso. There is Hamilton. I'm only 4 seconds behind Alonso. So, yeah, this could be interesting. We will have to fight past Alonso with Freddie. But hopefully he'll have the grip to do that. And after our first stop, we are still in the points with both drivers. That is very important. Felipe sets a new fastest lap, a 1:14.8. That's faster than Verstappen, faster than Perez. That's awesome. But it does mean we are definitely going to have to fuel save. So let's start doing that now. If we're lapping faster than the race leaders, then they ain't going to lap us. Not going to do that with Verstappen and with Vesti until we get past Alonso, and the gap is already 1.8 seconds. We are reeling him in hand over fist here. Yeah, in just the space of a couple of corners, the gap's now less than a second. Right, can we get past the Spaniard nice and quickly and easily here? He blocks us there. Can we throw it up the outside here? Oh, switch to the inside. Ah, not quite. I needed some battery. Okay, so let's have a recharge lap. We'll get him on the next one.
Okay, happy to lift and coast.
Okay, copy.
You can see we just got so much more grip at the moment.
Use energy if you need it, use energy.
Copy.
There we go. We got the move done this time. And even conserving like this, we should still pull out a 1 second gap.
Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
If we don't, I'll have to spend a bit more battery, but... We're doing 15.7s at the moment. We're not catching Bottas yet. But we are fuel saving, so we'll do that for another couple of laps. Get him down to about half a kilo. And they can see we've already got over a second on Alonso. Fuel saving is so much easier when you've got a massive grip advantage and pace advantage per lap. Alright, this is the halfway point of the race, lap 39, and we are looking very good at the moment in 6th and 7th. Of course, this is Monaco, so anything can happen. Like I said, a late safety car could completely throw this strategy out the window. But we do still have a set of mediums for both drivers, I believe. Let me just double check with... Yep, got a set of brand new mediums for both drivers still. As well as a brand new set of softs. So, if we need to, we can try and extend these tyres in terms of life a little bit and still have enough for a brand new set. Depending on when the safety car comes out, if it comes out in the next few laps, then we'll probably switch onto mediums and just have brand new mediums to go through to the end. But so far, so good. Is Russell closing in on Bottas? No, he's not. I think he must have just got lapped by Bottas. Maybe not. His tyres are... Yeah, his tyres are starting to die off, so... And you can see everybody behind us in immediate proximity is on older, very worn, hard tyres compared to our softs. Which is why we're pulling away so comfortably without even trying. Felipe has now only got half a kilo to save, so that should be enough now.
No saving required.
We should be able to comfortably save that over the rest of the race. And I think that's probably enough for Vesti as well. So let's let them turn the wick back up again.
Copy.
Let's see, we did a 15.7 with Felipe last lap. Let's see what we do this lap. We should close in on Bottas again. We've lost the fastest lap to Verstappen, but you know, we haven't even been trying for it yet. And when we get that second set of brand new softs, we will absolutely obliterate the fastest lap. Ferrari's working their way, the second Ferrari, Leclerc, working his way through a lot of traffic right now. And there we go, a 14.9 pretty much for Felipe. Almost half a second quicker than Bottas. Now he's not fuel saving anymore. We are faster than Leclerc. We're about the same pace as Perez, slightly slower than Verstappen. Faster than Sainz. So this is going to pretty much guarantee us, and look at that, we're over 2 seconds faster than Alonso, 2.2 seconds faster than Alonso with both drivers. In fact, we're 2.4 seconds faster than Alonso with Felipe. That is a huge margin. That is a big wad of traffic. That might come into play when it comes to trying to close the gap on Bottas. Right on board as he hits the back of this traffic jam. He's past Schumacher. Next up is his teammate Gasly. Gasly does slow him down a little bit there. Caught him in an awkward place. Oh, look at this chaos as the Williams go side by side through the last couple of corners. This could be interesting if these guys get to the top of the hill before Bottas gets on the back of him. He's stuck behind him through half of the lap until the tunnel. I think that's going to be the case. Yeah, he is. He's going to be stuck behind them through this whole section here. But most of them should dive out the way. But this is going to be slow for Bottas here. There goes Ricciardo. And he only gets past Ricciardo. Now Magnussen gets out of the way, and again it's slower through that corner than it would be normally. Now Stroll will get out of the way nice and quickly here. So yeah, no real slowdown effect there. Maybe a slight delay in getting the throttle down, but Stroll's going to get passed by Magnussen. Yep, there we go. Magnussen got him up the inside. But we definitely closed the gap as we're coming up to the back of Russell again. Luckily, we've caught him in a place where it's not going to hold us up. Russell will peel out the way quite quickly. There we go. So we get through without any drama whatsoever there. But there is that big wad of traffic. So it cost Bottas 1.3 seconds last lap compared to us. Now it's our turn to try and clear them. He's back on a 15.3. We're on a 15.4, so our tyre advantage is slipping away. Which isn't surprising. You know, the softs are only good for so many laps before they start to drop off, but when we get those new ones on, we're going to be blisteringly fast. I don't think we're going to have enough pace in the car to get Bottas. I think we're looking at 6th and 7th, but we should be comfortable. We'll definitely be comfortable for 6th, and I think Vesti should probably be comfortable for 7th. The gap to Alonso's going to be going on to softs about the same time that Vesti does. So the 15, 16, 17 second gap should be enough. Because Alonso will be quicker than us.
We're not okay on fuel.
Yeah, copy.
But there you see, we've definitely come out of the traffic better than Bottas did. We did a 15.4 on this lap as well. We might have got held up quite badly there, I'm not sure. Awkward to tell from that camera angle. What's the gap? Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, look at the gap. It's gone up from 7.8 to 10.2. So we lost a good 2 seconds there. I was just saying how we got through that traffic in much better shape than Bottas did, and then we immediately got screwed over by Stroll. Thanks, Stroll. Appreciate it. You'd be happy with 6th or 7th? Yeah, I'm very happy with 6th and 7th. You know, I thought we'd be scrapping for a point or maybe 2 points. You know, thought we'd be scrapping to get a car into 8th or maybe 7th if we're lucky. We were helped by Russell self-destructing very early on in the race. Otherwise, we'd be fighting for 7th and 8th, which would be 3 points. But, you know, we're going to get 5 points out of this race, assuming nothing bad happens. And those extra 2 points could be the difference as the season rolls on. And yes, upgrades to come tomorrow night at Baku. Really can't wait to get that new floor and that new rear wing on the car. And the new side pods as well will also help. They'll protect the engines a little bit more in terms of cooling. They'll help reduce drag a little bit, which will hopefully improve our top speed slightly, on top of the upgrades. The other upgrades giving us a nice big chunk of performance. Vesti's got the gap up to a pit stop now. He could pit now and still come out ahead of Alonso. This is really good. Switching them both onto this strategy, I think, was definitely the right call. I was a bit unsure about whether or not I was doing the right thing switching Vesti, but I mean, just how quickly he's pulled away from Alonso is just confirmed to me that I definitely made the right call here. And if we do get a late safety car, or a safety car in about 10 laps time that closes the whole field back up again, oh, we will be in position to not only take Bottas but maybe even Leclerc as well, because I think Leclerc might have some damage. I don't know, he's actually lapping slightly faster than Sainz. Maybe he doesn't, but he's definitely way off. He's on a recovery drive at the moment. But yeah, I mean, you can see the state of the tyres as they are at the moment for the front runners. And if we can attack them with brand new softs, and their tyres will be a little bit worse than they are right now, then yeah, there could be some fireworks in the closing laps if we do get that late safety car. And Russell's still on the track, so it's entirely possible. If he hits that barrier again, that will be a retirement. He will have destroyed his suspension, or his chassis, or both. If he has that same impact. As he's finally caught the back of the pack. He's now fighting for position. But I think Russell still has to make another pit stop. I don't think his tyres will... No, his tyres won't go all the way, so he'll be boxing for a set of softs at the end, so... He will be a threat for fastest lap, which is only worth bragging rights this season. No bonus point. But again, if we get a safety car, he will start cutting through the field very quickly. Alright, we are about 0.4 of a second off Bottas now, per lap. So that gap's going to start going back up again. We will be blisteringly fast when we do come out of the pits, which will be in a few laps, 4 laps. I need to change this strategy, because the strategy was planned with the other set of tyres. It won't let me do it. Okay, let me delete that. New stint. Why won't it give me the... I know I've got the brand new set of softs. I think that's... Yeah, that's the lap that we were going to box Freddie. So, yeah. We're in the window for both drivers to come in for new tyres. It's just kind of frustrating that Freddie had to catch that traffic before he pitted. That's cost him some time. We do have a bit more traffic in front of Felipe here. We've got Magnussen and Zhou, and then a little bit further up is Vettel. Hamilton in 10th place, stuck behind Ocon right now. These guys have just been lapped by one of the Ferraris, by Leclerc, I think it was. No, by Sainz. And these guys are all stuck behind Alonso, who now finally pits. And so does Hamilton. So these guys are going onto soft tyres. And Hamilton will probably jump Alonso in the pits here. Alonso will probably get held. He does. So Hamilton gains another position. He's up to 11th place. That's Bottas there, I think. Oh, and that will have slowed Bottas down a touch. Was that Bottas or was that Gasly? I think that was Bottas. Yeah, that was Bottas. So Hamilton's going to be all over the back of Bottas. And while he's in defensive mode like this, I am going to take the initiative and I'm going to box Felipe this lap.
Box, box.
Yeah, copy. One.
Because while Bottas is being harried and hassled by Hamilton here, who may well get past him with the DRS, if we can get through cleanly, or we can get ourselves into some clean air, we're not going to have to worry about getting stuck.
Copy that.
We could just cruise on up to the back of him even faster. Once again, Freddie's kind of in the way at the moment, but that will change very quickly. There goes Magnussen, I think. Was that Schumacher? No, that's Schumacher. Because there's Russell. And I'm going to box Freddie this lap before he hits more traffic. Again, onto those brand new tyres.
Box, box.
Copy, box.
I'd love to get the fastest lap, but it's meaningless this season in terms of points. So I'm not going to burn out the tyres and the battery just for, just for the moral victory. If there's no points on offer, I'm not going to go chasing it. If we get it, we get it. But if we don't, we don't. It's not a priority. There we go. Vesti's out of the way of traffic in front and also out of the way of his teammates. He's going to get lapped by Perez here. And Verstappen. That's Verstappen who's just passed us there. So we actually did more fuel saving than we needed to, in theory, but we're going to be so much faster than these guys that we might well have the chance to unlap ourselves. 6th and 7th will be a great result. Yes, it will. But if we can hunt down Bottas, that would be even sweeter. Bottas is still under pressure from Hamilton. This is still going to force him to drive defensively. As Hamilton will try and find a way through, because he'll have so much more pace. So we are 28 seconds behind Bottas right now. Bottas doing 15.4s. Let's see what we do as we are coming up to the line now for our first clean lap. And we did a 14.0. So we're 1.5 seconds a lap faster. And I am going to push some battery.
Energy if you need it.
Okay.
So use energy if you need it.
Copy.
Let's see what Vesti's pace is at the end of a lap. Let's actually take the battery off Vesti. I want to see if he's actually catching the Red Bulls. He should be, but it probably won't be by much. There we can just see Bottas going around the corner of Sanderbot up and starting to climb the hill as we were cutting through on the lower part of the track. So we are steaming up onto the back of his teammate Gasly right now. And we just did a 13.3. Oh, that's quick. Don't mind spending a little bit of battery, but I'm not going to burn the tyres. What does Vesti do? Vesti does a 14.3, so he's only a couple of tenths faster than the Red Bulls. Although the Red Bulls did have to lap Russell on that lap. So the Red Bulls should be similar pace to Vesti, maybe a tenth or two slower. So Vesti's probably just going to stay behind the Red Bulls here. 7th is pretty much a lock. Ocon is stuck behind Hamilton. No, Alonso's stuck behind Hamilton. Ocon is... where is Ocon? Ocon's about to get lapped by one of the Ferraris. That's going to slow him down even more. He's on hard tyres. And he's lapping considerably slower. So yeah, we're pretty much locked in now for 6th and 7th. The only real question that's left is, can Drugovich actually close that gap down to Bottas? And the gap is slowly coming down, but... oh, just at 12.9. I forgot to turn off the battery. Yeah, we are flying right now. But we're about to hit some traffic. Need Bottas to continually be under pressure from Hamilton and Alonso. There we go, a 13.9 with no battery. Well, maybe a touch of battery at the start of the lap. That's still very quick. That's still very quick. The Red Bulls are doing in clean air. Oh no, they're not in clean air. Perez is in clean air this lap, so we'll find out what kind of pace the Red Bulls are doing at the end of this lap. But Vesti is definitely catching. He's got Schumacher in front of him. There is Schumacher. He dives out of the way, and that's Verstappen at the other end of the tunnel. Let's close up onto the back of him.
You can use energy. Use energy. You can use energy.
Yeah, copy.
So what is the Red Bull pace? (15.0 and 14.6). That is genuinely their pace. Okay, so do I just stay tucked in behind the Red Bulls here, or do I try and unlap myself? Ah, that is the question. I mean, if I push to try and unlap myself, I'm not going to catch Bottas. I mean, I'm going to struggle to catch him with Drugovich, but certainly not going to catch him with Vesti. I'm lapping faster than Ocon, comfortably. I might just leave him tucked in behind. It's one less lap he's going to have to do. I can turn his tyres and engine down.
We're not okay on fuel.
And protect the car for the remainder of the race. I think I'm just going to do that. Let's just turn his tyres way down.
Get back off.
Okay, copy.
Protect his engine. There doesn't seem to be much point trying to push past, because there's nothing achievable beyond this apart from possibly catching our own teammate, which we don't really need or want to do. So yeah, we'll settle in behind Perez and Verstappen, and that'll be good. That'll be all she wrote for Freddie. He did a great job for us earlier at the start, holding up the rest of the field, and now he can take it easy for the rest of the race. He's still going to get points. We are still closing the gap on Bottas, but I don't think I've got enough laps left to actually catch him. Which is a bit of a shame. Russell is down in last again, as we lap. Is that Albon? That can't be Albon. No, it's not. That's Vettel. We lap Vettel. Oh! Is this the safety car that we were thinking of?
This was the Aston Martin.
What the hell happened here? Oh!
Dear
He's got a puncture.
I won't have been expecting. The team are devastated.
Oh no, this has ruined his race. What tyres have I got left that I can throw him on? It's going to have to be new mediums. And he's going to have to push like hell.
They crashed out.
Oh, that's a disaster. Luckily, I've got a 20-second gap over Ocon, but that gap's going to disappear very, very quickly. What other damage has been done?
Copy.
Minor suspension and minor chassis. Okay, this isn't the end of the world. Oh, that gap's down to just 8 seconds and falling and falling and falling, but we're going to be able to push like hell. I didn't tell him to box! No! Oh, okay, that's his race over. Oh, god damn it. I forgot to tell him to actually box.
And box.
That's a good overtake from Alpine.
That's it. Vesti's race is done. I'm going to retire the car. Oh, what a disaster.
to retire the car.
Yeah,
What an
copy.
absolute disaster. Oh, now we're getting held up by him as well. I did say in quali / practice, or at the very beginning of the race, it was entirely possible that one of our drivers could just stuff it in the wall. And that's exactly what's happened. And that's killed any chance we had of catching Bottas as well. That's cost us 2 points. It could be worse. But it's 2 points that we could really not afford to lose. And more importantly, we were going to get 5 points, and Alpine were only going to get 1 point. We were going to gain 4 more points than them. Now we're only going to gain 1 point on Alpine because we're going to get 3 and they're going to get 2. So Alpine just got a lucky break in the battle for 4th in the constructors. He was taking it easy as well. That's the most annoying thing. Wasn't pushing. Maybe just because he was in dirty air. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I should have just tried to overtake and get him clear and just... or backed him off before he caught them and not pushed him to catch up to the back of them. I can't help but feel that's a mistake of my own making. Drama, but not the kind we were hoping for. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a shame. It's a disappointment. But... yeah, like I said, luckily it's not earth-shatteringly bad like it would have been at this point last season. If we were on for 7th last season with Freddie, that would have been what, 6 points that we would have just lost, which, you know, given where we were last season and how infrequently we were able to get into the points, and at least in the early part of the season, would have been devastating for me. We know the car is capable of good stuff this season. Our drivers are the weakest link of our car at the moment this year. Whereas you could argue it was probably a bit more 50-50 last time round. But yeah, we can challenge for points on a consistent basis this season. So one bad result isn't horrendous. As long as nothing happens to Felipe, then we're okay. But if something happens to Felipe as well, I will probably I'll probably burst out into tears. Look at the gap we have to Ocon. 50 seconds. Yeah, with Felipe finishing in 6th, we will still be able to tick this off as one of the 11 races this season, or the 11 points finishing races for a season, as part of our long-term objective. So we're still on course to tick another one of those races off, and try and get our long-term objective done this year. which I think runs until the end of next season. So if we can get it done a season early, that would be excellent. But have you noticed, we just don't seem to have a drama-free race at Monaco. You know, when we raced here with Gasly, we had that really weird wobble that that dropped him down the order, and then Porsche crashed for no real reason, retiring him, and Gasly was able to fight his way back up to third, but yeah, we just seem to get drama here with our cars. How did we do here last year? We finished 17th and 16th, 2 laps down last year. It's a bit of a change, isn't it, that we were comfortably where we were, considering we were 2 laps down last year. That's a hell of an improvement. Unfortunately, only one car's going to finish. Oh, hello. We are 12 seconds off of Bottas. He's working his way through traffic. It's slowing him down. I was just lamenting everything that was going on. I was paying no attention to the timings, and yeah, all of a sudden 5th might not be completely out of reach. I wish I had more battery. I wish I had more tyre life. I wish that Vesti would have brought out a safety car with his crash. Could have done some real good for Felipe there. Could have bolted on a brand new set of mediums, saved up a bit of extra fuel, saved up some battery, and then just really attacked on the restart. That gap's coming down. Bottas did a 1:16.0. We did a 1:14.6, 1.4 seconds. We've got 9 laps to go. And a 10.5 second gap. We're going to have a big chunk of traffic though. That's Hamilton with Albon, Alonso right behind him. So it looks like they've fallen off the back of Bottas, probably because of Felipe. Freddie crashing or retiring. They might have held him up. I don't know. Or at least created that separation. But for whatever reason, Bottas is no longer under pressure. Hamilton's dropped all the way down to 9th as a result of that. So Hamilton's kind of been screwed over. He's outside of the points. And he's not catching Norris. Are his tyres gone? No. He must have just lost position.
Eight to go.
What would Mr. Water do? You'd cut your losses and preserve. I cut my losses and was preserving with Freddie, and he went straight into the barrier as a result. I'd rather Drogovic stayed focused, and it's very reminiscent of Monaco '88 when Senna was blistering the field by a mile. Was it 88 or was it 89? I think it was 88. He was so far ahead, and then he just kind of switched off. He lost a little bit of focus and just started to go onto autopilot, and as he backed off, and then within like 2 laps of backing off, he was in the barrier and out the race. And he had like a huge lead at the point, like 50-60 second lead, and he just started backing off, and the second he backed off, he just lost that little bit of focus, and he put it in the barrier coming on the approach where Freddie crashed. That was the exact same barrier that Senna crashed, and he went straight to the wall, and that was it, out of the race. And he said afterwards that, you know, if he hadn't started backing off and just going into autopilot a little bit, you know, he wouldn't have had that accident. He would have stayed focused if he kept pushing. This is one of those circuits where just that brief moment, that little lapse in concentration, and your race is over. Hamilton's pushing again. It was Alonso, not Ocon, that Hamilton was behind. I think, wasn't it? I can't. Yeah, Bottas was lapped. So yeah, Hamilton's still behind Bottas, but he's opened up a gap to Albon and Alonso. So yeah, okay, that makes sense. Nothing has happened to Hamilton, and he is closing in on Norris, but he's stuck behind Bottas still. And if that's going to keep putting pressure on Bottas, we've got a 7-second gap with 6 laps to go, and we are still lapping a second and a bit faster. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close. There they are. Alright, this is still on. As Alonso gets out of the way. I'm still thinking about it. Yeah, I'm still going for it. If I can get an extra position out of this, then it won't all have been completely in vain. (16.2) and a 15.2. It's a 1-second gap, and we on the lap time, and we got slightly held as we got past both of those lap cars there. And the gap is 6 seconds, and there are 5 laps to go. And Hamilton's putting pressure on Bottas still.
No saving required.
Okay.
Got just a tiny bit of spare fuel. Let's burn that off. .8 with 4 to go.
4 laps to go.
Yeah, copy.
Save fuel, save fuel.
Copy.
Oh, we're in striking distance. That's so close. We're going for the grandstand finish. Bottas has lopped. I was going to say lopped Norris, but he's lapped Norris. Maybe he has lopped someone called Norris as well. But that's caused them to drop back a bit. So Bottas is in clean air now. What does he do across the line? A 15.9. He does improve his pace slightly. What do we do?
3 to go.
A 14.8. Oh, it's I don't think we're going to make it. I think we're going to get right on the back of him, but we're not quite going to make it. Wasn't it Monaco where I ran out of finish before the fuel line? Yeah, that was last season. That's why I finished 2 laps down, both my cars. Ran out of fuel right before the line, and I think we were in the points if memory serves me right as well. At least with one of them, maybe not both, but I'd forgotten all about that. Thank you for bringing that horrible memory up just as I'm trying to trying to achieve something special this year. There you go, we lap Hamilton. And all that cheering in the background that you hear, that's not the fans, that's Farah. That's Farah's piping that in. Right, we get the DRS.
2 laps to go.
Is it enough? If I can get within a second. I've got a little bit of extra fuel, I'm okay. I'm not going to run out of fuel again. I'm not letting that happen again.
We can push again now.
Yeah, copy.
Use energy.
Yeah,
I'm not going to get close enough.
Last lap.
Oh, the tension is unbearable. Everything I've got left. This is it. Last of my battery.
Energy if you need it.
Copy.
That's my tyres dead. That's 30%. Oh, I just needed another lap. One more lap and I'd have been able to do it. Can I get him on the line? No. I didn't have the traction out the corner because my tyres were dead. Ah.
That's checkered flag.
Good effort though. If I'd committed to the 2-stop at the start and gone soft, medium, soft, I could have beaten Bottas, I think. Because I would have stayed with him at the beginning.
What an incredible outcome for Aston Martin's driver. Today, Aston Martin demonstrated that they can go very far indeed.
Absolutely. Whatever they're doing over at the team garage, I should think they're going to keep on doing it.
The end this weekend in 5th place in the constructor standings.
Next time, the teams will be racing through the streets of another city. Join us in Baku on the shores of the Caspian Sea for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
So there we go. Felipe does get the fastest lap, which unfortunately doesn't mean anything this year. We do get 3 points. Unfortunately, Alpine get S02. So we do only gain a point on Alpine. Houghton does fight back up to 9th, just missing out on the points. He was right on the back of Norris as well, so Norris just about managed to hang on there. And a bad result for George Russell, who finished in 19th. And an even worse result for Freddie, who unfortunately retired from a very nice 7th place. In the Drivers' Championship, Max doesn't get the win. I think that's 2 wins back-to-back now for Sergio, isn't it? So the gap now down to just 9 points. Things are starting to get a little bit tense between the two Red Bull drivers, as they both have 3 wins apiece now. Leclerc gets 5 points for his 4th place finish. Hitting the barrier did not help him at all there. Dropped him off the podium, which he would certainly have got. Neither Mercedes gets any points again. I think it's the 2nd week in a row that's happened. 2nd race in a row. Sainz climbs 2 places thanks to that 3rd place. Jumps him above Felipe. Fernando, the big loser, with no points, dropping down 2 places. Bottas climbs 2 more places as well. Freddie dropping 2 places again as a result of his crash. In the constructors, Red Bull just absolutely walking away with it, and Ferrari make huge inroads on Mercedes. Mercedes have been the stronger of the 2 teams so far this season, but with that result, it's just 2 points between them, and it's all on again for the battle for 2nd. We do close the gap to Alpine by 1 point, but it's still 6 points. That's still a big margin. Hopefully our upgrades at Baku will help us really get some extra pace out of the car. A point for McLaren is important for them, and big points for Alfa Romeo, with Bottas finishing just in front of us. Closes the gap between those 2 teams. So again, another little battle brewing on the constructors. Good race for Vesti. Not a lot of overtaking. Had enough pace to not really have to defend that much either as well. And then just unfortunate with putting it in the barrier meant that he lost a lot of potential race points, unfortunately. Exceptional race for Felipe. 10. No successful overtakes, no successful defences, 1 failed overtake. Very quiet on track, but pace-wise was very good. He did what he needed to do. There was 1 overtake at the start, off the line. I don't know why it's not counted that. Maybe because it was on the opening lap. I don't know. Off the line. We did out-drag George Russell off the line to move from 7th to 6th. And that was it. That was the only overtake that we made in the entire Grand Prix. But even so, it was still a dramatic race for Felipe towards the end. We almost caught Bottas. Sponsorship-wise, we missed out on our performance guarantee as one of our cars didn't finish. But we achieved everything else, which is nice. That's another big chunk of cash that we're not going to be able to spend this season. How close are we to points? We're still 1,000 points away for another point for Freddie. Felipe just under 1,000, so we won't get those till Baku. Let's just go ahead and give Nico his point. There we go. Just looking at me all pathetic like that. Yeah. We do have a new point for Alessandro. Right. What do I need to work on most? What are the changes for next season? Trying to remember. What do we vote on? High-speed downforce changes. Okay, so with that in mind, let's improve his high-speed downforce. Andrew Green doesn't have a point and is still 4 weeks away from a point. And our engineers are still a way off. Oh no, actually Ben's going to get one next week. Ben will have one before the next Grand Prix. Chris has just had one, by the look of it. Alright, can we do anything with our facilities? Not in here. Is there anything in need of a refurb though? No. In here, we're fine. And operationally, we're fine in here as well. The one thing that's about to break is in the middle of an upgrade as it is. So I'm going to go ahead and advance time because I want to get these upgrades on the car. I need something to cheer me up after the disappointment of the race for Freddie there. So I also need to see just how much damage we did to Freddie's car. I need an extra spare chassis, so let's go ahead and manufacture that. How long is it going to take? 8 days. Yeah, that should be okay, as long as I don't bin it on day one. There we go. Yeah, how bad is the power unit damage? So that is okay, actually. It took a little bit of a knock. It's down to 89%. So it's only lost, if it's lost anything at all, I don't know if it has. ERS, again, is okay. It's maybe taken a little knock. It's a 57, 59. I don't think that's taken any damage. What about the gearbox? Oh, the gearbox took a hit. Yeah, that's at 62%. So we're going to need a new gearbox at some point this season for Freddie. We should be okay for Felipe. Right, there's our side pods. Let's go ahead and emergency manufacture those. They are going to give us a nice little boost to our cooling. Let's get those installed. Oh, this guy's new. I don't think I've ever seen this guy before. He's too old at 20 to be that low for us to consider him. We're not looking for a reserve driver until the end of the season anyway, so new rear wing and new underfloor. So we're going to emergency manufacture 3 of those because I've got all this money to spend and nothing else to spend it on. There we go. And rear wing. Okay, so now let's see where our car sits. Oh, look at those improvements. There's still a day to go, so it's not 100% guaranteed that that's where we're going to be. But that's a nice big improvement. That's a very nice big improvement. We still need more cooling. So we've got 3 slots available. Do I want to start researching? I'm going to need new projects on the underfloor, the suspension, the front and rear wings. That is 4 definite projects. We can do a major one in each. Let me have a quick look. If I just close the chat for a second and open up the description. So we've done 1 major rear wing, 1 major front wing, and 1 major underfloor. So we've got 1 more of each of those this season. It's a bit early to maybe throw another major upgrade on any of those, really. Let's open the chat window back up. There we go. So maybe another suspension. I'm 11 days away from new hours. Let's have a look what a cooling optimized chassis suspension would do. It would only give us an extra 1%, but it would be quite a nice one. It would also improve our low speed and medium speed cornering slightly as well. So let's go ahead and make one of those. I can do 3 parts. So I'm thinking another side pods again and a chassis as well. Let's do 3 of those. So this is one that's going to take the least time, so we'll put 3 on this one. Take it easy, Farah. I will catch you tomorrow for Baku. Let's have a look. This is going to take 27 days. That'll drop in time for Austria. If I rush it, it'll take 18 days, which will drop it in time for Silverstone. Let's rush it. Right, chassis. Oh, our chassis is terrible. And this will help with engine cooling as well. Okay, so this one will take quite a while. So we want 4 on this one. If we rush this, 20 days, we'll get that in time for Silverstone. And last project. Will also have a nice little impact on our engine cooling. And 27 days means we'll get that in time for the Red Bull Ring. Okay, so that's the next 3 upgrades planned. So with that, with our tour center fully refurbed and our CFD, oh, I should have waited a day. It's too late now. Actually, we haven't put any hours in, so could I cancel those projects? I'd lose the money, but I wouldn't lose any hours because I didn't put any hours in. I've never done this before. I've never cancelled projects before. Yeah, let's cancel them and restart them. Now that we've got a better CFD simulator, we can get better gains. I've never ever done this before, so that's a first. Let's quickly redo those. So chassis, we want to max these all out. There we go. We want 4 and a rush. 20 days is still going to be in time for Silverstone. Excellent. We want new side pods. We want an aero focus, sorry, a cooling focus on that. 3 engineers rushed, 27 days. Should still be in time for Austria. It is. Excellent. And then a new suspension. And again, we want a cooling focus suspension. 3 days rushed, and we'll get that in time for Silverstone as well. First time for anything, they say. Indeed. There we go. So we're not going to get massive improvements over the parts that we just started, but there will be improvements, and you know, the smallest little improvement can add up to a big thing in Formula 1. So all we need to do now is set our performance targets for Baku, and we'll do that tomorrow night. So that's where we're going to end tonight's stream. Tomorrow we'll be back for Baku with our brand new update package fitted to the car, and what an update package it is. We could be mighty here again, just like we were last season. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I will see you all again tomorrow night. Thanks for watching. I am Jibbob, and I'll be back with some more F1 Manager very soon.